The topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Books, beauty products, science, fashion, and glam talk. From Bollywood to Hollywood, it's Dr. Afshan Hashmi's radio show every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on W4WN Radio, the Women's for Women network. And here's your host, international speaker, educator, award-winning entrepreneur, and best-selling author, Dr. Afshan Hashmi.
Hello everyone, this is your loving host Dr. Afshan Hashmi with her show on W4WN Radio and Talk 4 TV live from Florida studio. And before I start this show, I would let you know that this show is syndicated worldwide to 300 million listeners. So just imagine if you give me sponsorship, your product will be promoted in a very, very grand way. And before I start the show, I wanted to remind you that these are my two books. Please go and buy these two books and give me an honest review. Through the sale of these books, I finance these kind of programs as well as I give certain part to the charity, and also it brings food to the table. My first book, The Modern Mughal Mentality, New Strategies to Succeed in India and the Global Marketplace, was an Amazon bestseller as well as hot #1 new release on Amazon. And when this book came, there was a lot of research going on in Harvard and Stanford on Jugaad, the Indian buzzword. And I have devised a Jugaad management principle business model, and this book is in case study format, and many American companies and companies around the world are featured in this, and I want a documentary to be made of this. So all those documentary makers, please contact me at afshan@drafshanhashmi.com. And my second book, The Outbreak of a Monstrous Infection, came in 2019. And when this book came, there was no trace of coronavirus. And in a very unique story, I have told like what bioterrorism can do and what harm it can cause to the human population. And for this book, I want a movie to be made, and the screenplay is ready. So all those Hollywood, Bollywood, independent, and whoever makes movies, please contact me at afshan@drafshanhashmi.com. Having said that, friend, today I will be talking about a very, very hot topic, and it is about monkeypox. And there is a news in medical news today, and here it is. And it says monkeypox outbreak spreading, who declares global health emergency, written by Andrea Rice and Angelo Chow on July 25, 2022, fact checked by Jennifer Chesak. And it says the World Health Organization announced the multi-country monkeypox outbreak is now a global public health emergency following a July 23 meeting of the International Health Regulations Emergency Committee (EC). This came just a month after the WHO decided on June 25th that the severity of the disease spread did not warrant a global emergency declaration at the time. More than 16,000 monkeypox cases have been reported in at least 75 countries, primarily transmitted among men who have sex with men. On July 23, the World Health Organization (WHO) declared monkeypox a global public health emergency just 1 month after the agency determined the severity of the outbreak had not reached an emergency level at the time. The outbreak quickly spread to at least 75 countries, with more than 16,000 cases reported primarily among men who have sex with men. The latest WHO announcement came after the second meeting of the International Health Regulations Emergency Committee (EC), which was unable to reach a consensus about the severity of the outbreak. Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, the WHO's Director General, overruled the committee by declaring monkeypox a public health emergency of international concern. The WHO declaration means the risk of the disease spread requires a coordinated international response. In a statement, Dr. Tedros said although the risk remains low for the time being, monkeypox presents a clear risk of further international spread. The monkeypox virus had been a threat in Africa for many years. According to Reuters, African scientists had criticized the WHO in June as its committee weighed for the first time whether to declare the viral zoonosis a public health emergency. As of June 1, more than 1,400 monkeypox cases were reported by the WHO in Africa alone, where at least 72 people have died. Within 2 months, the disease quickly spread to more than 16,000 cases in at least 75 countries. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) reports that monkeypox cases are occurring outside of Africa in countries that don't normally have monkeypox, including the United States, but most cases occur among men who have sex with men. Monkeypox cases occurring outside of Africa in countries where the virus is not normally present were first reported in May. And now, friends, I will ask my DJ, my sound engineer DJ, to please play the first sponsorship film, and after that, I will show you what goes behind the scenes for preparing for these kind of shows.
Hello everyone, this is Dr. Afshan Hashmi live from a barn in Virginia, and I just wanted to say for my W4WN radio and Talk 4 TV, I request everyone who is listening to please give sponsorships if you want these shows to continue, because this show is syndicated worldwide to more than 300 million listeners. So if you give me sponsorship, your product will be promoted to more than 300 million listeners around the globe. And I wanted to tell you that to make these kind of shows, it requires a lot of money and energy. So I just want to request a sponsorship, and cheers and bye bye.
So now, DJ, can you please play the behind the scenes movie?
Hello everyone, this is Dr. Afshan Hashmi, your loving host, radio and TV personality, live from Barnes and Noble, and here I am trying to read some books and magazines and all to see if I will review any of these books which in my forthcoming K4HD radio and Talk 4 TV program, or W4WN radio and Talk 4 TV program, or on my Talk 4 series. And before I start the program, I want to remind you that these are my two books. Please go and buy these two books and give me an honest review. And through the sale of these books and sponsorship, I finance these programs. And these two books were Amazon bestsellers, and this one, The Modern Mentality and Strategies to Succeed in India and the Global Marketplace, was also a hot #1 new release. And the second book, The Outbreak of Monstrous Infection, I want the movie to be made, so all those Hollywood, Bollywood, Netflix, Amazon, Roku, Peacock, Apple Plus, and whoever makes movies and TV serial and web series, you can contact me at afshan@afshanhashmi.com, and I will give you licensing rights in a very reasonable price, which will make us both of us happy. Having said that, friends, now let me see the books I have browsed in and will read after I finish this program. So the first one which got my attention was Stephen K. A manure of the craft on writing. So this is the book, and I'm trying to read it and see if it will be beneficial for my viewers if I review this book. So this is the first one, and then it says a diary of the plague year, an illustrated chronicle of 2020, Elise Engler, and this also caught my attention. It has beautiful photographs in the book. Then this was I Was the President's Mistress by Mikhail Sijoko by Vita Nova with Mikhail Sijoko. Then the 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 Chief's chief, Mark Meadows, former chief of staff to President Donald J. Trump. In Sorry Not Sorry, Elisa Milano. Then Unstoppable, Chico's Rivera. Secret Identity by Alex Secura. And then The World Atlas of Coffee, From Beans to Brewing Coffee, Explored, Explained and Enjoyed. And it also has some nice photographs. And then Chart, Manish Chauhan and Judy. And Chart is the Advertisers of India. Pepper Thai Cookbook, Pepper Tiger. Beautiful photograph of the author. The Instant Pot Culture Cookbook, Paula Scheuer. Vegetarian India: A Journey Through the Best of Indian Home Cooking by Madhur Jafri. I love Madhur Jafri books. So this was the books, more books which I have browsed, and I will read that and see which one will be beneficial to my viewers, because I take a balance, like whether this when I choose a book, that how that book is doing sales wise, as well as what the material is inside the book, the matter inside the book, and whether it will be an interesting program, and whether my viewers will like it, and whether it will be beneficial to them. So I have to weigh all these options before I choose the book. And then, friends, please go and buy these two books. And they were Amazon bestseller, and this one was also top number 1 reviews on Amazon. And please go and buy these two books, because through the sale of these books, I finance these programs. Having said that, friends, please give me sponsorship also, because this show will be syndicated worldwide through a media company, and will distribute it to thousands of outlets, and it has 300 million listeners. So just imagine how your product will be promoted in such a grand way. Having said that, friends, for my second book, The Outbreak of a Monstrous Infection, I want a movie to be made. So all those Hollywood, Bollywood, Netflix, Amazon producers and directors who are listening, please contact me. And whoever makes movies and web series or TV series, please contact me at afshan@afshanhashmi.com. Having said that, friends, now I will end this podcast. And cheers and bye bye.
So this one was folks behind the scene, what the preparation goes for this W4WN radio and Talk 4 TV, as well as K4HD radio and Talk 4 TV, as well as my docu series. And if you give me sponsorship, your product will be promoted to 300 million listeners, because this program, as well as K4HD radio and Talk 4 TV, as well as my docu series, is syndicated worldwide to 300 million listeners, and each program is syndicated to 300 million listeners. And now, DJ, can you please play the second sponsorship film, please?
Viewers around the globe, this is Dr. Afshan Hashmi, live for her radio show at K4HD and Talk 4 TV show. And I just wanted to request you that please give me sponsorship if you want this show to continue. Having said that, friends, I will see you in another episode of K4HD Radio plus Talk for TV show. And if you give me sponsorship, I will give you very reasonable price, and also you will get lot of promotion, as this show is syndicated worldwide to more than 300 million listeners. Cheers and bye bye.
Now, friends, I will be talking about from the CDC website, and here it is about monkeypox. So, what about monkeypox from CDC website? Monkeypox is a rare disease caused by infection with the monkeypox virus. Monkeypox virus is part of the same family of viruses as variola virus, the virus that causes smallpox. Monkeypox symptoms are similar to smallpox symptoms but milder, and monkeypox is rarely fatal. Monkeypox is not related to chickenpox. Monkeypox was discovered in 1958 when two outbreaks of a pox-like disease occurred in colonies of monkeys kept for research. Despite being named monkeypox, the source of the disease remains unknown. However, African rodents and non-human primates like monkeys might harbor the virus and infect people. The first human case of monkeypox was recorded in 1970. Prior to the 2022 outbreak, monkeypox had been reported in people in several Central and Western African countries. Previously, almost all monkeypox cases in people outside of Africa were linked to international travel to countries where the disease commonly occurs or through imported animals. These cases occurred on multiple continents. Signs and symptoms. Monkeypox is a rare disease caused by infection with the monkeypox virus. Monkeypox virus is part of the same family of viruses as a smallpox. Monkeypox symptoms are similar to smallpox symptoms but milder, and monkeypox is rarely fatal. Monkeypox is not related to chickenpox. Symptoms of monkeypox can include fever, headache, muscle aches and backache, swollen lymph node, chills, exhaustion, respiratory symptoms, for example, sore throat, nasal congestion or cough. A rash that can look like pimples or blisters that appears on the face, inside the mouth, and on other parts of the body like the hands, feet, chest, genitals, or anus. The rash goes through different stages before healing completely. The illness typically lasts 2 to 4 weeks. Sometimes people get a rash first, followed by other symptoms. Others only experience a rash. And this is the monkeypox rash photo. And it is photo credit UK Health Security Agency, and it is on CDC website. Prevention. Prevention steps. Take the following steps to prevent getting monkeypox. Avoid close skin to skin contact with people who have a rash that looks like monkeypox. Do not touch the rash or scabs of a person with monkeypox. Do not kiss, hug, cuddle, or have sex with someone with monkeypox. Do not share eating utensils or cup with a person with monkeypox. Do not handle or touch the bedding, towels, or clothing of a person with monkeypox. Wash your hands often with soap and water or use an alcohol based hand sanitizer. In Central and West Africa, avoid contact with animals that can spread monkeypox virus, usually rodents and primates. Also, avoid sick or dead animals as well as bedding or other materials they have touched. If you are sick with monkeypox, follow CDC's isolation and prevention practices for people with monkeypox. Remain isolated if you have a fever or respiratory symptoms, including sore throat, nasal congestion, or cough. Only go out to see a healthcare provider or for an emergency. If you need or to leave isolation, you should cover the rash and wear a well fitting mask. Vaccination. CDC recommends vaccination for people who have been exposed to monkeypox and people who are at higher risk of being exposed to monkeypox, including people who have been identified by public health officials as a contact of someone with monkeypox. People who may have been exposed to monkeypox, such as people who are aware that one of their sexual partners in the past 2 weeks has been diagnosed with monkeypox. People who had multiple sexual partners in the past 2 weeks in an area with known monkeypox. People whose jobs may expose them to orthopox viruses, such as laboratory workers who perform testing for orthopox viruses, laboratory workers who handle cultures or animals with orthopox viruses, some designated healthcare or public healthcare workers. And this information is all from CDC. So if you don't understand anything, go to the CDC website and you will have all this information. Having said that, friends, now I will ask my sound engineer DJ to please play the third sponsorship film.
Hello everyone, this is Dr. Afshan Hashmi, and I just wanted to request you that please give me a sponsorship, and I am live from Maryland, and this show is syndicated worldwide with more than 300 million listeners. And to produce these kind of shows, it requires lot of time and money. So please give me a sponsorship if you want these shows to continue. And I'm live from Maryland. Having said that, friend, cheers and bye bye.
And now, friends, there was a fact sheet: Biden Harris administration's monkeypox outbreak response, and this is from White House website. And here it is. And it is from June 28, 2022 statements and releases. For years, the United States has invested in research on monkeypox and in tools to effectively respond to the disease. Monkeypox is a virus that is generally spread through close or intimate contact with symptoms that include rash and fever. It is much less transmissible than fast spreading respiratory diseases like COVID 19, and this outbreak has not caused any deaths in the United States. The virus, however, is spreading in the United States and globally and requires a comprehensive response from federal, state, local, and international governments and communities. Since the first United States case was confirmed on May 18, President Biden has taken critical actions to make vaccines, testing, and treatments available to those who need them as part of its whole of government monkeypox outbreak response. Today, the Biden Harris administration announced the first phase of its national monkeypox vaccine strategy, a critical part of its monkeypox outbreak response. The vaccine strategy will help immediately address the spread of the virus by providing vaccines across the country to individuals at high risk. This phase of the strategy aims to rapidly deploy vaccines in the most affected communities and mitigate the spread of the disease. This announcement is a critical component of the administration's broader public health response, which includes rapidly scaling up and decentralizing testing alongside continued provider education and community engagement across the country. The administration's monkeypox outbreak response is also informed by the multiple times over the last 20 years that the United States has effectively responded to the virus. The United States government's response is coordinated by the National Security Council Directorate on Global Health Security and Biodefense, more commonly known as the White House Pandemic Office, which President Biden restored on day one of his presidency in collaboration with the Department of Health and Human Services (HHS). Collectively, the administration's efforts aim to expand vaccination for individuals at risk and make testing more convenient for healthcare providers and patients across the country. The Biden Harris administration remains committed to working with urgency to detect more cases, protect those at risk, and respond rapidly to the outbreak. Scaling and delivering vaccines to mitigate new infections. Thanks to prior investments in health security and the nation's prior experience responding to the monkeypox virus, the United States has effective vaccines and treatments that can be used against monkeypox. To date, HHS has received requests from 32 states and jurisdictions, deploying over 9,000 doses of vaccine and 300 courses of antiviral smallpox treatments. With today's national monkeypox vaccine strategy, the United States is significantly expanding deployment of vaccines, allocating 296,000 doses over the coming weeks, 56,000 of which will be allocated immediately over the coming months. A combined 1.6 million additional doses will become available, making testing easier. The new national monkeypox vaccine strategy builds on the administration's efforts to make testing more widely available and easier to access. On day one of this outbreak, providers had access to a high quality FDA cleared test to detect monkeypox. The CDC has since scaled testing capacity to 78 sites in 48 states, primarily at state public health laboratories, with spare capacity to conduct nearly 10,000 tests per week nationwide. Last week, CDC began shipping tests to five commercial laboratory companies, including some of the nation's largest reference laboratories, to further increase monkeypox testing capacity and access in every community. This action will dramatically improve convenience for patients and healthcare providers across the nation, activating community leaders and stakeholders. The response to monkeypox requires a whole of society effort being federal, state, territorial, and local governments and communities. The Biden Harris administration is communicating with healthcare providers, public health officials, and affected communities on a daily basis to share information on what the virus is, how to treat it, and which communities are most at risk. The administration is also sharing information on how to access testing, treatments, and vaccines, and how to prevent transmission with local government and community leaders in geographies and communities where transmission rates have been the highest. The administration is grateful for the leadership and activism of advocates in the LGBTQI plus community who have thus far been most affected and have quickly mobilized to promote information and awareness. The Biden Harris administration is providing vaccines to protect high risk groups across America. As part of the monkeypox outbreak response, the Biden Harris administration is launching a national strategy to provide vaccine for monkeypox for individuals at higher risk of exposure. The strategy aims to mitigate the spread of the virus in communities where transmission has been the highest and with populations most at risk. This plan distributes the two-dose Jynneos vaccine, which the Food and Drug Administration (FDA) approved for protection against smallpox and monkeypox in individuals 18 years and older determined to be at high risk for smallpox or monkeypox infection. States will be offered an equitable allotment based on cases and promotion of the population at risk for severe disease from monkeypox, and the federal government will partner with state, local, and territorial governments in deploying the vaccine. The goal of the initial phase of the strategy is to slow the spread of the disease. HHS will immediately allocate 56,000 vaccine doses currently in the strategic national stockpile to states and territories across the country, prioritizing jurisdictions with the highest number of cases and population at risk. To date, vaccines have been provided only to those who have a confirmed monkeypox exposure. With these doses, CDC is recommending that vaccines be provided to individuals with confirmed monkeypox exposures and presumed exposures. This includes those who had close physical contact with someone diagnosed with monkeypox, those who know their sexual partner was diagnosed with monkeypox, and men who have sex with men who have recently had multiple sex partners in a venue where there was known to be monkeypox or in an area where monkeypox is spreading. In the coming weeks, HHS expects to receive an additional 240,000 vaccines, which will be made available to a broader population of individuals at risk. HHS will hold another 60,000 vaccines in reserve. As additional doses are received from the manufacturer, HHS will make them available to jurisdictions to expand availability to the vaccine for individuals with elevated risk. HHS is increasing the availability of doses by leveraging its long-standing partnership with the manufacturer of Jynneos to expand vaccine supply and by accelerating completion and shipment of doses to the United States. HHS expects more than 750,000 doses to be made available over the summer. An additional 500,000 doses will undergo completion inspection and release throughout the fall, totaling 1.6 million doses available this year. To supplement the supply of Jynneos, states and territories may also request a second vaccine, ACAM 2000. ACAM 2000 is FDA approved for protection against smallpox caused by the variola virus. ACAM 2000 is also believed to confer protection against monkeypox and is available under an expanded access investigational new drug protocol sponsored by CDC for vaccination of individuals at risk of monkeypox infection. However, ACAM 2000 carries greater risk of certain serious side effects than Gynos and cannot be provided to individuals who are immunocompromised or who have heart disease. The CDC will work with state, territorial, and local health department requesting the ACAM 2000 vaccine to ensure that individuals are fully informed on the benefits and the risks before receiving the vaccine. HSS will work closely with local and state partners and health providers to continuously evolve and strengthen its vaccine strategy to ensure that vaccines are being made available to communities most at risk and where transmission has been highest. The administration is expanding testing supply and availability. And due to the lack of time, I won't be able to read this. And it says the administration is expanding testing supply and availability. And then the administration has launched a robust community and a stakeholder engagement strategy. And then the administration is leading efforts to combat monkeypox globally. So this was it, and if you want to read the whole thing, it is at whitehouse.gov, White House website, and it says fact sheet Biden Harris administration's monkeypox outbreak response. Having said that, friends, and now I just wanted to remind you that these are my two books. Please go and buy these two books and give me an honest review. And through the sale of these books, I finance these programs, and also I need a sponsorship for this program as well as for my K4 HD radio and Talk 4 TV as well as my doco series. And recently I have started a TV show on Fox 5 Plus for 4 minutes monthly. It will come, and I need a sponsorship for that. And that show is recorded 3 months ahead of time. So, if you want to contact me for sponsorships, please contact me at Afshan at trafshanhashmi.com. And for my first book, I want a documentary to be made. So, all those Hollywood, Bollywood, Netflix producers and independent documentary producers, please contact me at Afshan at trafshanhashmi.com. And for my second book, The Outbreak of a Monstrous Infection, I want a movie to be made and the screenplay is ready. So whoever wants to read the screenplay can contact me at Afshan at drafshanhashmi.com, and you can go to my website www.afshanhashmi.com and read the Tailflix analysis of this book. And this says that it is comparable to two blockbuster movies, Crazy Rich Asians and Contagion, which are both blockbuster Hollywood movies. So this will make a very good Hollywood movie or a Bollywood movie or a TV serial or a web series. And for this, a documentary. And all those companies featured in this, please go and buy my book. And there are a lot of companies featured in this. For example, McDonald's, Starbucks, and Pizza Hut, and Armani, and many more global companies are there. So, please make a documentary of this, and this book is in a very conversational manner. And both these books were Amazon bestsellers, and this one was hot number one new release on Amazon. Please go and buy this book because I am a full time author, and this brings food to the table. And also I'm working on my third book, and it gives lot of encouragement if there is a sale of books and people read the hard work with which I have written these two books. Having said that, friends, now I will end this program, and yes, please give me sponsorship because this show is syndicated worldwide to 300 million listeners, as well as my K4 HD radio and Talk 4 TV, as well as my third doco series. It is all these three shows are syndicated worldwide to 300 million listeners, and my Fox 5 Plus show is syndicated to 6.3 million households in Washington, D.C. Having said that, friends, now I will say cheers and bye bye. And DJ, can you please play the third sponsorship film?
Hello everyone, this is Dr. Afshan Hashmi in W4W and I just wanted to request you that please give me a sponsorship, and I am live from Maryland, and this show is syndicated worldwide with more than 300 million listeners, and to produce these kind of shows it requires lots of time and money, so please give me a sponsorship if you want these shows to continue, and I'm live from Maryland. Having said that, friend, cheers and bye bye.
You have been listening to Dr. Afshan Hashmi's radio show on W4WN Radio, the Women for Women Network. Tune in live right here every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Would you love exposure for your business, product, or service to over 300 million potential listeners? Send an email at info@talk4media.com. And remember, if you missed any part of this show or want to hear it again, find our featured show on iHeartRadio, where all past episodes are available on demand 24/7. See you next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time.